Well, hello there friends, happy Monday, insomniombie here, and I wanted to share with you a drawing I was working on today this morning, which took me about an hour, but I wanted to share some of the techniques and some tips, because people when they think about, when they think of pixel art, they think that it looks all janky, like, let me show you, people think that it looks like, let's see, let's zoom in, that it looks like, kind of like that. But if you kind of know how to, work with pixels, if you zoom out, it looks, a lot more smoother like this. But yes, I wanted to show you how I did this little cat today. I used the number 4 brush size, and I used this curve tool a lot. It's yes, it's a must. But what I did first was I chose the layer for the head by pressing Shift N, and it gives you another layer. So for this one, let's just name it head, because this is like the first layer that I worked on. So I already have a head, of course, but I'm gonna just leave it like that. And since I'm using layers, whatever I draw on this layer I can erase, but the bottom layer won't erase. So what I did was I just drew the basic. I'm not gonna go and draw it perfectly, but yeah, I just kind of did this. And I like using bright colors so that I can see, so I can see the lines more easy. And with these little things, don't worry about these. We can always fix those later on. If you're not happy with the way it looks, if it looks kind of like pointy, it's okay. You can always go back and just, do this. But first, we want to draw like the rough outline of our project. So yeah, I went ahead and did this until I completed the head all the way around. It takes a little bit of time, but it looks good in the end, trust me. And yeah, I made the little cheeks here. So yeah, just go ahead and do that on your drawing. Just make the little basic outline of the head. And then I went ahead and I made a different layer, and I named this one ears. Because if I don't like the way the ears came out, let's just give you an example. Let's just draw like a simple little ear. I'm not going to draw it perfectly. So yeah, let's just say that this is your ear, and let's kind of fill it in. Let's just use green as an example so you can see the colors easy. So let's just say that this is your ear and you drew it over your your head outline. You can just go ahead and press Control A to select all of the layer, and just Control X, and you can start all over again. You can just go back and just do your ear the way you want to and draw it better. So yeah, there you go. This is another little ear. And then once I drew the ears, I went ahead and I merged the ears down with the head, so that now they're one. Now they're not separate. Now when you erase whatever is on the head or whatever, or the ears, it's gonna erase on the head. So yeah, always work in layers. And then the next layer that I worked on, I'm gonna name this face. And this is pretty much everything that I worked on the face here. I made the little eyes, which I used the eclipse tool for this one, and I used the number 4 size, and I just drew I used black, of course, for this one. Or yeah, so I drew the circle here. Let's just go over here like this. I wanted the shape, I kind of chose what shape roughly, and then I used my friend, the curved tool. And I just went like this and kind of drew the little, like a little almond shaped eyes. And I went like this. And then I went over here and I drew this little curved line over here. And I went over here to get my eraser tool, and I erased this little line here. Like so. So it's not gonna be perfect because I'm just using this for an example. And what did I do? And then, okay, so I'm gonna make this little line out here. I'm gonna make it brown because I need the inside of this to be black. Okay, and then what I did to make the little eye effect here, I got my little eclipse tool, and I chose green because I just like cats with green eyes. And I made the little outline a little thicker. I went with a number, I think it was a number, no, I went a little thicker. Let's see. I'm just gonna go with the number 15 brush size. There we go. And I used the magic wand tool here to choose the inside of the eye. So whatever I draw here will not go outside of the line, you see? So you use the magic wand and choose the selection where you want to draw, and it will not go outside. See? It won't go and draw outside the little magic wand line. So this took some time to get perfect. I kind of just went like this where I wanted the eye. Say I wanted like that. Or I wanted it in this case to be more at an angle. I went ahead and did it like this, I believe. Like so. You see? And then just to make the little cute little eyes here, I went and I chose the circle tool, but I chose it to be filled. I didn't choose it to be the outline. I chose it so it can be filled in. And I just drew, you know, the little eyes here like this, like so, and then yeah, makes it look like more cuter. And then I went ahead and added more details. I came over here and I added like little eyelashes, like so. You can add whatever you want. You don't have to do it like this. You can just add whatever you want. And yeah, that was done as far as the eyes. And back here I added like the little eye patches, which I just went ahead and chose the outside. I'm gonna go ahead and erase, or not erase, but get rid of this so you can see it a little clearly. So right now we're in the face, and I used the magic wand, but I chose it outside of the eye because I want to draw outside of the eye. I do not want to draw inside. And I chose my little trusty eclipse tool, the filled in tool, and I just went ahead and did this. I went behind the eye and just went like that. You can fill this in. This is not supposed to be like this, but you can just fill it in with this same color. Yeah, so I went ahead and just kind of decided, and Control Z is your friend. That's the undo button. You're gonna use that a lot, so get used to just typing Control Z a lot. So yeah, I just went ahead and did that, and then you know, did the little eye patch behind the eye. And then once I did that, let's go ahead and open up all of our little things here. Once I did that, I merged the face down to the head. So like now the eyes and the ears are all the same. Now when you erase it from here, it's gonna all be erasing from the whole project, if that makes sense. So yeah, and then once I merged them all, I came up with this. Of course it didn't look refined yet. It was still just I'm gonna go ahead and erase this because we don't need this anymore. Delete layer. So okay, and to get rid of the magic wand, like right here, it's just pressed the escape button and it'll just get rid of it. So yeah, and then I added more details. Once I merged the ears, the eyes, or the face actually, and the head, I just came up with this, but it was just one color. So to add the little shading effect, I chose inside the head here. Of course it's not gonna look like this. It's gonna look like this, or I'm sorry, like this, so that I can draw inside of the head and not outside of the you know, the drawing area. And I used my trusty curve tool, and I went ahead and I used the eyedropper tool to select the color, which was this one. But over here where your little color palette thing is, I went a couple of shades darker, and I went ahead and I drew the line here, you know, curved, make it look a little curved so it could look smooth. And then I went all the way down to where it made sense where the shadow was going to be. So let's just do this real quick. So let's just say I wanted to fill this in. So I went over here to my paint bucket tool, which is another useful tool. They're all useful. You just gotta know how to use them. And I just went like that, and it made it darker. You see? And as far as my brushing techniques here, you see how like these little lines are kind of like pointy. What I did was I used the curve tool. Of course, let's make it in yellow so you can see easier. So I just drew these little whiskers everywhere, like so. They don't have to be perfect because nothing is perfect. Hairs are not perfect. So yeah, let's just do this real quick. And I used my my eraser tool, and this kind of takes like some kind of time to perfect. It's kind of like the way you flick your hand. I kind of went like this, and yeah, to make them a little pointy. And if it say you kind of mess up and you do this, you can use Control Z, which is the undo, and just start over again. You can just kind of do that over and over until you get like the little brush stroke that you want there. You see, I kind of did this for all the little hairs on the little face. So let's go ahead and undo all of this. And what else did I do here? Also, I don't know if you, it's not very noticeable, but like the outline over here, I chose this little brown. I chose several shades darker than this shadow here. I went like right here, I believe it was. Let's just color this. So I went over here. So this shading is going to be way over here in the color palette, but this outline is going to be down here just to make it pop a little. And what I did was I just chose the outline of the face, but over here, to make it pop a little more, I went with just completely black. And I got my line tool here to make it I don't know, you don't have to do this. You can just make a straight line like this and use the paint bucket tool, and then it'll just fill this in. But I like to do little pointy lines like this to make it a little, you know, more like give it a kind of a different kind of style, I guess. I don't know. As you can tell over here, right here, you can see it more. I went with a line like this rather than just a straight line like this. And then I did a line like this over here on this side, and I went over here and I did the same thing, and I got my paint bucket tool and I just filled this line in right here. It's not gonna fill this in, it's just gonna fill this line in. So let me give you an example. So right here, I went with the smallest brush size possible, which is 1. And I'm just going to draw a line from here to here. You want to make sure they connect, because if they don't connect, okay, if they don't connect like this, it's going to fill in the whole thing, like all the way up there, if that makes sense. So you want them to connect like so, from this point to this point. And I'm just going to go over here and just make another line. And then just use my paint bucket tool, and then it will only fill this in. It's not going to fill in the rest of the outline. And what else did I do? Then I made the little mouth here, which they kind of look like different colors. But yes, for that, I just used my magic wand tool again. And I chose the face, and I went with the same color as the ear. I just color picked this. And I used my eclipse tool, but the filled in, not the outline, the filled in one. And I just kind of went like this, and I made them, I kind of placed them right where I wanted them to be. And then I went a couple of shades darker. I went from this color to like maybe this color. If you look at my color palette over here, I went to like about right here, not too dark. And I just got my pencil, and I chose a number 5 brush size over here. And I just made little dots, you know, wherever, just kind of randomly. And I also got my curve tool, and I just made a little curve right here, or not the line tool, the curve tool. And I just kind of made a little curvy line, and I just filled it in. I got my paint bucket tool, and I just filled it in. And the little nose, the same thing. I made the little nose. I made the little outline of the nose, again, several shades darker than the shadow. So if you choose this, it's gonna end up right here on the color palette. And I went all the way, I went really dark, as a matter of fact, so it can pop a little more. And actually, if you want, you're not going to be able to tell a huge difference. You can just choose black and then do the same technique that I did for the head. Just kind of make it like a little line. Let's see how it looks like. Let's see if it makes any difference. All these little details, you know, count. So you really can't tell unless you're really looking at it. So I'm just going to leave it as, you know, that dark pink there. What did I do? Oh, Jesus. And yeah, that's what I did. And then over here for the ears, I kind of just you know, did the inside of the ear, and then did like a little pink, you know, filling here. It looks like a little chocolate cat, as a matter of fact. And yeah, I made a little effect here, you know, a little pointy, I guess, hair coming out of the ear. But yeah, and then the little mouth, of course. And it doesn't have to be brown. If you want to change the color of your cat, go to your trusty wand here, magic wand, and then select this. But also, if you want to select multiple areas, you would click shift and then click the next area. But if you want to choose a whole area, you see how it doesn't choose this, you just click this, or you could choose continuous, and it will select. When you put continuous, or when you deselect continuous, and when you click the magic wand, it will select all the colors in this. Like, it would just select the whole, you know, brown area, if that makes sense. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. So yeah, so let's just go to okay, let's select everything that's brown, and let's even select the outline so that it can change color with this. And let's go to edit, and let's go to adjustments, and let's go to hues and saturation. So right here you can choose whatever color you want of your cat. I want to go for, let's see what the like a black cat looks like. So let's go all the way down here. Oh, that looks pretty nice. And of course you can change the color of the ears. So yeah, this looks, let me see him. I kind of want a black cat. So there you go. So yeah, you can choose like this. You can choose the different colors of your cat. Oh, oops, I didn't save that. So let's go back to it again. And you know, say you want like an orange cat, like my little Garfy. I would go and look for the orange, but I would tone it down with the, you know, color, and I would kind of, oops, I don't want to mess with that. So you would just kind of mess with this. I mean, you don't have to do this. You can always just go to your palette. You can go to your palette and, you know, choose the color. But I'm just showing you this is kind of an easier way. So let's see here. How can we mess with this? So let's go a little bit light, but let's make it oranger. So I'm just gonna leave it like this for an example. It's, you know, not realistic. Cats don't look this shade of orange, but it's okay. So yeah, you can make it this color. And if you don't like it, you can just use your trusty undo button, Control Z, and it will go back to the original color. And yeah, there's tons of different effects you can do to your little project here. What else did I do? Oh yeah, so you can just, okay, if you want to just use the color palette to change the color of your cat, let's go with orange. And then let's see what this looks like. Let's go with a little lighter orange. I like this shade. So yeah, you would just fill in your cat here, and you would go a little bit darker for the shading here. Let's go a little darker. That doesn't seem to make a difference. I know it's not perfect. I know you can just mess with it. So yeah, if you want to do that, and then you can also do it, you know, do the same thing for the ear over here. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my chocolate kitty. There we go. And yeah, if you want to do like an outline around the cat, you would just use your trusty wand tool. And say that I want a white outline just so I can make a pop. I would go choose the color white, and I will go to stroke, this button right here. This will make an outline all around your kitty, which is not really noticeable. Let's see, let's try that again. Edit, stroke. I think you can change excuse me. There's a way to change the size of a stroke, but let's just keep doing this. And you can also just press S on your keyboard and it would do the same thing. It would just do the stroke. So yeah, and it's, for some reason it's gonna choose it out here as well, but you can just select this area and delete it. And there you go. Now you have a nice little outline around your kitty. You can make it as thick as you want. So I'm just gonna get rid of that because I don't want that on my kitty on this project. So yeah, those are some more tools if you wanna, you know, get into picture drawing. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be the best artist. Anybody can really do it. So yeah, I mean, you don't have to be a perfect artist. You can just really draw whatever you want. And for beginners, you know, I recommend just going to your little area, your little drawing area, and just go into town. See, like right here is, I was experimenting with the size of the head of the cat, or like the shape of the head. And yeah, you just draw whatever the hell you want, just really, and then just get some practice. And at some point, you're gonna get good, and you're gonna understand the program more, and you're gonna be comfortable. So yeah, what I did when I first started drawing was I just got started off with the line tool just so that I can mess with it a little, and then just started off like that. As you can see with my other art, I kind of choose to draw like this because it looks kind of interesting. It doesn't look all perfect. You know, art doesn't have to be perfect. And as you can see, I use the line tool heavily here for my little ladybug, my little chef ladybug, and my little robot mosquito. You know, just you can see it's angular and not as smooth as this one. But yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys what I was working on this morning. I hope these tips and tricks helped you out. And yeah, get at it. Go and download that Aseprite. I don't get paid to mention it. It's just a great program to start off with. It's better than Paint.net, I think. But Paint.net is also a good program to start off with. But yeah, just get out there and start drawing. I hope to see some of your artwork soon. And yeah, that's it for today, guys. You guys take care. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will keep on doing some more art. Alright, you guys take care.